Howdy! Today we'll be giving a brief presentation on the social cognitive theory and relating it to real-world examples. This presentation was designed and will be given by Morgan Lain, Stormi Evans, and Morgan McCarthy. There are three main learning objectives that you can expect from this presentation. Number one, identify and describe the social cognitive theory. After being given a formal definition of the term, you will be able to briefly explain what the theory means and begin to think about instances where you may have been in the presence of the effects of this theory. Number two, describe the four processes of observational learning. Those are attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. And finally, number three, you'll be able to recognize social cognitive theory in real-life scenarios. During this presentation, we will show you 4 videos exemplifying what we believe to be social cognitive theory being displayed in real-world scenarios or movies. So what exactly is the social cognitive theory, you might ask? The social cognitive theory is a theoretical perspective in which learning by observing others is the focus of study. It is grounded by several basic assumptions, one main one being that people are able to learn from observing others. It believes that learners can acquire new behaviors and knowledge just by simply observing a model. One brief example of this would be a child who starts using foul language at a young age, because the parents are always using foul language around them. This child's use of bad language is a direct result of learning the word from his or her parents.
Robert Bandura developed the social cognitive theory in 1977, and he created 2 points. One is that the mediating processes occur between stimuli and responses, and the second point stating that behavior is learned from the environment through the process of observational learning. Bandura also states that modeling is based on attention, retention, reproduction, and motivational processes, which I will explain and discuss later in this video. During Bandura's development of the social cognitive theory, he conducted a series of experiments where he observed children while they were watching adults attack Bobo dolls. In this experiment, the children would watch adults continuously punch the dolls and knock them over. Then he would leave the children alone with the Bobo doll and watch them imitate the aggressive behavior towards the dolls. And we will actually see actual footage of this experiment in the next video.
The model pummeled the doll with the mallet, flung it in the air, kicked it repeatedly, threw it down and beat it. It was once widely believed that seeing others vent aggression would drain the viewer's aggressive drive. As you can see, exposure to aggressive modeling is hardly cathartic.
Robert Bandura's discoveries led to the 4 processes of observational learning. In the attention process, the observer needs to be attentive, and in order for them to be attentive, the action that is in question needs to be different or notable in a way to make the action worth observing. And in the retention process, the observer recalls the behaviors they previously observed and then allows them to learn from the observed behaviors. And for the reproduction process, the observer reproduces the previous behavior observed when in similar situations are required. And the last process is the motivation process, and that's when we see someone being rewarded or punished for their behavior, and it motivates the observer to either do the behavior or avoid it.
So in this short example, we see the 4 processes of social cognitive theory come to light. We see the attention process in how people notice Regina George's shirt. The second, the retention process, and how everyone recalls the information whenever they're getting ready for school the next day about what the shirt looks like. The reproduction of whenever they all wear the shirt to school. And the motivation is they're motivated to wear this particular style because Regina George is popular and they want to be like her. So they see the reward of wearing the shirt and they are motivated to do the exact behavior.
All down here is all. Suck. Check this out. My God, there's a stick there. Somebody should move it.
All right, in this example, we see a little bit a different scenario. We have a father and a young son. And in this context, it's a bit different because the son is younger and a bit more impressionable versus teenage girls. So the reason why the son would repeat the father's actions is because he sees an older person doing it and believes that this is the way a person acts.
Our students wore rollerblades, show and tell. Jillian tripped him with a stick. Jillian found it hilarious.
I like him to feel like he can express himself freely. I've really never seen any problems with that.
Now we see the social cognitive theory come full circle. In school, the son recalls the behavior of his father tripping someone in rollerblades, and the son reproduces his behavior in a similar situation. Though the behavior was not good or positive, the son never saw his father's behavior punished, and so as a result, he did the same thing in school.